Greetings. I had some technical difficulties, but this is going to work now. I'm sure you can hear me. For some reason, my uh, program here is making the default microphone the computer microphone. It's something I'll have to figure out. But anyway, this is Grandmaster Amin Ra coming to you live from Basa, Kenya on the 29th of July, 2019. We're here having another great discussion about Africa and why it's important for blacks in America to get the real picture and get the real understanding of what Africa is about. Because unlike most of the black leaders in America, there's very few people that are really saying what has to be said, and that's definitely that modern Africa is the solution to 99% of all black people's problems with the United that they're having with the United States. And this is what we're going to discuss today: is how black people are being duped through Western mass media propaganda to believe that they are somehow in a better position than the African in his own country. And I wanted to get right into that and try to make the video short at the same time. So as you know, as many of you know, many of you, 100 of you, that really watched this channel so far, we're going to try to make it even more. And I'm going to be coming on a regular basis. And when you see me here and you have a comment or a question, just put it in the chat line. And then I will try to answer it the best I can with my 45 years of experience in different areas, including being Black conscious since 1986. Black people in America. I have come across many of them, both when I was living in the United States and when I've seen them come here in Kenya. And a lot of them just hang on to this notion that they are somehow better than the African, or that the African is somehow dumb or dumber. And we used to see this in the Tarzan movies, where the white Tarzan would run around the jungle, never get bit by a mosquito, and then turn around and be outsmart all of the African natives that come out. And the African natives were portrayed as like buffoons in the Tarzan movies. And then they probably got a lot of laughs, but at the same time, laughing can reach into your subconscious. Actually, it lets some information get deeper into your subconscious. And this is where I'm saying the propaganda machine in America is very, very sophisticated and very serious. You may not think you're being brainwashed, but you're being brainwashed. And just like people laughed at the Tarzan movies when the Africans would fall over themselves in the jungle or run away from a wild lion while Tarzan goes and grabs and tackles the lion, you have something that is being put in you to keep you like docile. So you don't believe that you have a superpower of your own. And we blacks have a superpower of our own. This is why they got to continually, and I mean continually, spend billions of dollars on peace. Electrician, how are you, brother? So this is why they had to spend billions of dollars every year convincing us that we are somehow better off than the African in his own country. Now, one of the great deceptions going on in America, and one of the things that has really many of us confused, is the fact that you think you're a Black American. You see, even to tell you the title, who are you? I'm a Black American. Okay, what even the title mean? The title is a contradictory thing because Black is from Africa and America is not from Africa. So it's like you're confused right from the start. I don't know what Jesse Jackson was thinking when he told me I was a Black American back in the 1980s. I was there, I was listening to him, and he was like, he made up the term, and then of course everybody just swiftly used it because they was tired of the word Negro. Because they was like Negroes, that was the word. Then Jesse came with the Black American, and everybody was like, yeah, Black American. They had to put that suffix on there so that they could be somehow connected to America, So if I'm here today, to speak out about that, this is wrong title. Today, when we say we're Black Americans, then we give up so much as opposed to being called who we are, African. And when you see yourself as an African and you look at yourself as an African in America, then you find that you can justify, or not justify, but understand the mistreatment that you normally get in dealing with racism. You are not an American, as Americans don't treat other Americans the way we have been treated for, of course, 400 years. So when we start to look at ourselves as African, then we automatically we start focusing in on the African continent. It's the largest land mass. It's got the most food. They just realized the African continent can feed the rest of the world. You just come here and drive around, you'll see that it's just like vast areas of land that are just not even being touched. And and I don't mean just like the desert land, like in the U.S. They had to try to turn desert into something. And no, in Africa, you have rich, fertile land that's just sitting. You know what I'm saying? That nobody's using. You go here to talk to you can get an African friend, and it's a good chance he may tell you, "Look, man, come build your house on my land. And I won't charge you anything," because they have so much land. And this is what I'm saying. We as Black Americans, we don't have land. I'm sure many of you just heard a report where Blacks now own 94% less land than they did in the 1920s. Blacks our home ownership is at its lowest point in history. But I think that's because they're killing us off and we ain't enough of us to buy homes. But that's a different video. But the fact of the matter is, without land, you really are powerless. You see? And I keep saying, and I can't say it enough, because I keep hearing people like Shakreek, Lecreek, what is his name? I got to get his name right. Taqueek from the Hidden Colors, constantly saying things like, the Black community, we gotta do this and we gotta do that. You can't do shit until you get a community. Let me repeat that. You ain't gonna do shit until you get a community. Because what you doing it for? You're gonna educate your kids so they can go to college, so they can get a degree, so they can get a good paying job, so they can buy a house. Where? You see? If no Black community, the whole thing doesn't even come to a logical conclusion. You see? And that's what Black people think. It's Tariq. Yes, thank you. Tariq. Yeah, I've been focusing on him a bit, and he is pro-Black American. Just like Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's pro-Black American. Just like Umar Johnson, pro-Black American. Dr. Claude Anderson, he hate Africa. Goddamn, he was on the show the other day. I almost wanted to throw up because of the nonsense he was saying. And then, not only them, but as I was saying earlier about the way they make laughing can way to get to your subconscious. Many of our comedians, starting with Richard Pryor, starting with Eddie Murphy. They all have skits that are going to talk about Africa to make you laugh, but it's a negative comment about Africa. You see, and they get into you like that. I mean, I'm here in Africa and I'm watching a comedian show, and here is the comedian all of a sudden, man, something blah blah blah. He just brings up Africa out of nowhere, and then sure enough, the joke has to be something that I would never go to Africa. I could never live in Africa. I'm different from Africans. You know what I'm saying? That's them there, and I'm here. This is how the jokes play out, and this is very bad. When you let these kind of things, laugh at these kind of things, and let them sink into your subconscious mind. Like, hey, I can't go to Africa because Dave Chappelle was said it wasn't good, or things like that. This is very, you have to be careful. And I'm saying that they're doing this because more of us are going to Africa. And whites need to try to control this, because the greatest fear of the white man, and get me right, the greatest fear of the white man in America is the black people leaving in mass. So great is this fear, they are trying every which way to either stop us from going, and they know they can't stop us all from going, or to replace us so that we won't be needed. And this is the case. When they say the humble masses come from, bring your humble masses to America, you get free land and free labor. Think, you can't have land without somebody to tilt the land. It doesn't make any sense. It's impossible. I give you 40 acres, it might as well be 2 acres. If you don't know how to put a hole to the ground and turn that dirt, then what's gonna happen? The land is gonna sit there. You see, unless you got somebody, and then to get somebody, I don't even care if you're in Africa or you in China, you still gotta pay somebody to tilt the land that you own. You see, if you're gonna land on build a house, you ain't gonna build no goddamn house. You're gonna hire people that know how to build houses to build your house nicely, and you're gonna hope they don't overcharge you. So if you come to Africa, it's gonna be cheaper than it would be in America. But this is issues all around the world. The days of the African where they used to build these houses, and then your neighbor would tell you come over, and everybody spend the day building up the neighbor's house is over, because those days it was just wood and sticks, and it could be done in a day. But today, no, if you're talking about foundation or brick house with electrical system and plumbing system, you ain't gonna get a bunch of neighbors to come over there and knock that out in one weekend. No, you're gonna spend money for that. You see, so this is not happening in America. In fact, the things that are most important to us to be established in America is 1, land, and 2, community, 3, business, 4, family. And they have this all done in their think tanks where they're just rushing that, figuring out how to attack each of these areas and black people, and then sit back and laugh at us while we try to scuffle around and try to figure out what to do next. God, there's no way you cannot be under control of America if you're living in America. That's why I say everybody that lives in America is a Negro. I'm sorry, you guys, you gotta start thinking like that. You can't just be thinking like, okay, I'm here and there, but if I go to Africa, am I gonna get a job? Am I going to Africa, are they gonna eat me? Am I going to go to Africa? This nothing like that is there. And everybody's telling you this, but it's because you don't respond to it well, because you've been indoctrinated with so much propaganda on a regular basis. Probably today, probably today somewhere somebody might have mentioned something that came up to be a negative thing about going to Africa or being in Africa. You see, D.L. Hughley is on TV talking about his son is going to be, how he protect his son, like so many black men saying, he got almost a standing ovation when he was like, the things I tell my son about before he go outside and play is different from the things white people tell their son. Everybody start cheering. All the black people start cheering. Now think about that. I have have a talk with my son. I'm in the U.S. Son, when you go outside, don't make no sudden movements. When the police tell you lay on the ground, I don't care if you got a white shirt on, lay on the ground. Don't back talk. Let them arrest you. I'll come down and we'll figure it out from there. But we don't want you to get shot by the police. Son, when you're walking down the road and you see the police and they're doing things, turn around, go the other direction. Don't be watching them. Don't get involved in it. Blah blah. Now this kind of talk I gotta have with my son while I'm in America, and then I'll be like, America is better than Africa, because damn sure what the African man is saying to his son. Son, be for family. Son, respect your elders. We don't have to tell them that. That's just automatic. I ain't never seen no African man have to tell his son to be respectful, because they're always respectful. They learn that in school. They have to be respectful. So, what would the African man tell his son? Watch out for the police; they'll shoot you. No, don't trust the educational system don't trust what the teacher tell you in school. No. Right now in Kenya, they have revamped the educational system for the second, third time, and they're moving all things. White things was already moved out years ago. So even their textbooks don't even have white people in it. But the African today is making his curriculum more friendly, more creative, getting the creative, making it more creative for the student to be creative rather than academic. White people, they're academic, and we have a left brain, right brain theory, but what happens in Kenya now is that they're moving more to the I don't know, it's the left brain type of thing, type of curriculum, where you're not going to get a fail or A or B or C or D. You're going to get an above average, approaching above expectations, meeting expectations, and below expectations. This is what the grades the kids get today. They don't get A, B, C, D to demoralize them, saying that they're dumb. You see, so. This is and I knew my son was gonna come. So hold on. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Are you from football practice?
Yes, I'm from football.
Did you score any goals?
Yes, I scored one goal.
Okay. One goal.
Yes.
Okay, I want to come down. All right. See you in a little while. Okay. That's my son. And I don't have to have that kind of talk with him about is he gonna be shot by the police? No. There's a lot of things that are changing. And then we have to start realizing that these things are changing and re-evaluate our idea of what we want in life. We have to reevaluate it because now college is obsolete. And the fact that we, in this day and age, believe that we are better than the people that here in Africa, when we don't own land, when we own 0.1% of the wealth in America. And that's one thing I agree with Dr. Anderson when he said we just a guest in America because we don't own shit. So when you start talking, about comparing about the African and the African American, he don't need us. He don't need us. Their birth rate is it's 100% changing every 20 years. It's a doubling every 20 years. What they need some 20 million Black Americans, or even 2 million or 1 million. And I'm never advocating for all blacks to come to Africa. So let me get that straight, because people are going to misdirect what I'm saying, thinking like I'm in you thinking that all blacks are gonna come. I don't give a shit. I ain't expecting you. I'm not thinking hardly Pookie and them dudes, run around with red and blue rags on are they hanging out their ass coming to Africa. I'm talking to the guy that's like me. He just want to get along. He just want to be okay. And he been trying to be just okay. But the more he just try to be okay, he keeps seeing like the walls is closing in on him. You ain't got no great opportunity for a job. You ain't got, you keep having these problems with your woman, and you don't understand why. Your children are disrespectful, and you can't do nothing about it. You understand what I'm saying? This guy, I'm talking to him. That guy that got a little bit of intelligence and saying, "Look, man, uh, there must be a better life." And when you now you say after you say it must be a better life, you what do you do? Hmm? You say you start looking at where it could be a better life, where a better life can be found, and then where do you see? You compare your life with Africa. No, you skip over Africa quickly because you have been indoctrinated by the millions and billions of dollars that they have put every day to keep you from um, believing that you should go to Africa. Meanwhile, they're doing AI every which way to try to take the jobs that you could bear, that most of us work in. And then meanwhile, they're pulling us off the street in greater and greater numbers. It's like it's almost ridiculous. You do one little small thing, and the police arrest you, and they try to pound you with extra things. It's like they're being told that if you don't bring in 4 or 5 niggas by a week, then you're not gonna get no raise at the police. You know, telling the police that. So I wonder because you can't have an increase in imprisonment in blacks, while at the same time that the crime rate is going down. They got to be arresting. They have to be arresting innocent people to make that be like that. You understand what I'm saying? You just do the math. If you do the math and the prison rate goes up and the incarceration goes up and the crime rate is staying the same or going down, somebody's taking people off the street that don't supposed to be that ain't committing crimes, just like that. Okay, DC. Many of us here are in a state of luxury, fluctual partial. Still, I'm slowly, surely moving sleep from my eyes. Yes, take your time, get that sleep out your eyes. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When I was coming up, there was nothing like going back to Africa. Imagine even the person who got me black conscious was never advocating that you go to Africa and leave America. But he made a living off of talking all the shit of what they did to us. Hmm? Here come a man who takes groups to Africa, to Egypt to see the pyramids and say, this is what they did to us. This is what they whitened us. They whitened us. The word they. I'm going to write a book called They. They wrote this and they did this and they knocked the noses off of our statues and they stole our land. They hid this from us. They did all they did. But you ain't leaving, but you live amongst them. You live in their country and you pay them tax money. 10% of your work effort goes to them. Don't make no sense. Shit, I can understand like 10 years you might deal with, but after 50, 40 years, you still talking about what they did to us and you still living on Crenshaw Boulevard? Joking. This is the mindset. People like Dr. Watson telling you 2 great things you can do as a black man in America is invest in the fucking stock market and buy some goddamn real estate. Invest in the stock market and buy some real estate. Okay, most of the people know that most people don't get rich. The only reason why the stock market is up today is because Trump is threatening war with Iran. You have to realize that America is a warmongering country. You don't see it. You may not know it, but the biggest industries in America are not just General Motors and Walmart. We manufacture all kind of guns and ammunition and things like that. And we employ many people. I was employed by the war effort, by government contract to build weapons. That was one of my first jobs. And they pay you good, you see. But when there's no war, then all them people got to be laid off. So those are people that are working in defense and the defense contracts that they get from countries that are feared that they're gonna go to war with America, and then America's gonna come after them. Okay, we need anti-ballistic missiles. We need more guns. We need more uniform. You see, and America is the one making all of this stuff. But you don't hear that on the news. No, they wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. They need the cause things that's going to make us go to war so they can make money. And that makes the stock market go up. Just look at the history of the stock market. Every time they talk about going with Venezuela and playing around with Russia a little bit, the stock market is going to increase. When they start slowing down from that, it started decreasing. Because what we going to trade in? We ain't got no manufacturing jobs. They're all in China. We ain't making no goddamn automobiles, really. In America, they laying people off. So I'm just explaining to you that this thing is deep in our subconscious. And meanwhile, the African is moving full steam ahead. See, since I've been here, America's GDP has always been 2.2%, 3%, 1% 1 year, 2%, 3%. In Kenya, it's always been 6%, 5%, 7%, 8%. In Africa, it's been even 12%. Some countries got GDP at 12%. And the economists have said that it's going to last for 50 years. That's been like 5 years ago since I read that, but still, we got 45 more years. I don't know what they think will happen. As far as they can look forward, Africa is okay. You see, oh, but we are Americans. Here we go with this psychological nonsense. Oh, America got bases all through Africa. They can take over any time. That's not true. America only has one base in one country, and China got a base 6 miles to the north of it, no, to the south of it. So China got a base, America got a base, they're 6 miles from each other. Now, America says that people are saying that that's part of the military bases. Okay, but China is saying their base is not a military base. But you know what's going to happen if America jumps off and does something in Africa, like go bomb one of these Chinese projects, or hurt a country that is paying China money to develop. You see? But I'm telling you, the talk of war is this talk. The time for that is over. Colonization is not going to be twice. Okay? You don't make that kind of mistake. So we have to realize that what they're saying to you about Africa is just, not only is it not true, it's a complete flat out fabrication. You see, people are starving in Africa. How? I done rode on the bus up and down Southern Africa. I ain't seen nothing but food hanging from the trees. Who can starve? Surely this is not America, where you might be able to starve if they don't ship you some food every week. Or it was, you driving in Africa, you going from Kenya towards the south. I would say, 30 kilometers, there's a river. I used to sit on the bus traveling those 4 or 5 days to South Africa and just look out the window. When the bus come across a bridge, I look down and you can see it's a river, and you see naked people bathing in the water. If you're driving at the right time of the day, going to Africa, people are always, the ladies there washing clothes, kids running around, swimming in the water. You go 20 more kilometers, there's another one. There's the exact same thing. So water is plentiful. Food is plentiful. Living off the land is not a problem for an African. So it ain't like in World War II, where you're gonna freeze to death if you don't got enough. If you don't have enough wood on the fire, or chopped wood, firewood. There are many Pan-Africanist financial institutions we can invest in the Black Star Atlantic Credit Union, and lots more. Well, you see, this is the thing. We need to do things that take more action. And if we don't do things that take action, then you're just going to be spinning wheels. And next thing you know, you're going to look up and you'll be too old to do anything, or you'll be trapped. That's why I say take action now. So like with me, now I have 2 partners that I pulled from the U.S. that are in the U.S. today, and they're going to get involved in a business here in Africa that I'm developing. And I'm telling people, this is what you should do. We don't have super chat. They won't give us super chat in Africa because they know what would happen. But you can do the right thing here. You can do something that's going to be action. Take action. This is the African super chat. Send in a few dollars. I ain't asking for all your money. And this money is not going to really do anything but show me that there's some serious people. Because I'm getting the story that ain't nobody in America gonna go to, ain't no blacks in America gonna think about no Africa. You know, if they wouldn't think about Africa, then there wouldn't be all these negative programs about Africa. If Africa wasn't great, you wouldn't be keep on seeing negative stories about it. You'd be seeing stories like, go there and see for yourself. The white man would tell you. But right now he's quiet. If you really look at him, he ain't gonna be throwing up too many of those go back to Africa things, because it only takes just one celebrity. If any celebrities out there, Wesley, where you at? Just one celebrity, just one major basketball player. Where you at? Go to Africa and buy a house. You can afford it, and plant you a business in Africa. And say, on my holidays, I don't go to Europe. I go to Africa. You know, if Bill Cosby, before he was arrested, did what Russell Simmons did, and if Russell Simmons would have, instead of going to some funny country, moved to Africa, this whole narrative wouldn't be here today. The whole thing would change. You just need one prominent black person that just throw his hands up and say, fuck it. All of these things that we're doing, I'm tired of making money off my people, telling them about how bad things are. Let me take action and go my ass to Africa. You know, you take like 20, 30,000, you got 20, 30,000, 20,000 US dollars, or you got somewhere where you can get that kind of money. If you rich, then bring your ass on over here. You ain't got to worry about them after that. You know what you can do with 20,000? You can retire far into the future. See what I'm saying? 20,000, then you'd be set. You invest your money correctly, and that's another thing. Economically, you can't just go anywhere unless you know how to deal with economics. And many of us are not economically intelligent enough to make a move to Africa. And I understand that. Also the plan of America. You see. So I'm not. Some of you that are saying I just want to get out and then be free. I'm telling you, you talk about be free, and you know you're not free in America, because I can talk about white people, but many of you can't even get on. You can't even say nothing because you got a white boss and you're afraid he might see what you put on TV. They already put those things out there for you black people to watch. Black people lose their jobs because of something they said on WhatsApp or YouTube. You see, I'm different. I don't have that. I don't have that problem. I ain't had that problem many years before I even came here, because I was through with him when I left corporate America. And I tell him straight, I don't hate white people. Okay, I always have to say that. I don't hate white people. I even lived with a German here in Mombasa for 4 years. I don't hate white people. What I don't like is that people that think that they can pull some shit over on me and get away with it. You know? And I can see the hidden hands behind all of the things that's going on with our people in America. That's why I left. So now I'm here 20 years later. People are like, oh man, that guy been there for 20 years. Man, it was like that. You should have seen it. It was coming. Now today you're seeing it, and the politicians are now discussing you and trying to talk about what racism and talk about. They try to divert the thing to reparations that you ain't gonna never get. So all that's just gonna just die down, you know, because that's just sideshows. And you always get new sideshows, new propaganda, Western media, mass media propaganda sideshows. And they put these people on there, and black leaders should be called out. Why don't you ever talk about going back to Africa as a solution, Dr. Boyce Watkins? Then listen to him give you the answer, and you can know that's bullshit. Dr. Umar Johnson. Why he did some advertisement like he was in Kenya, got me going around looking for him, and he ain't never been there. He ain't been here. See what I'm saying? But that's a different story. But even him, you know, yes, I listen to them. I watch their shows from beginning to the end, and I listen to what the commentation they're saying, because I might be wrong, you know. But let me tell you, after the many decades of listening to these people, I ain't seen one sentence that made any cop them positive sense towards the solution of going to Africa. not coming from these people. You know, they're on reports daily. CNN and BBC are putting on shows where Africans are moving to. I mean, why blacks are moving to Africa in larger numbers. News at 11. Then you go watch the show, and then they're gonna show you three or four. There was a British people, 3 or 4 British people that went to Africa. Then they go, now let's talk to one who has went to Ghana and then came back, and they got the microphone all up in our face. Well, you come back. Why you come back if it was so great? You know, well, you see, my dad, he was like, if why he didn't give me a college education for me to waste it cooking in the air, and they made me come back. You know, they're trying anything because the greatest fear of the white man in America and in Britain as an extension is for black people to just say goodbye. I'm out. See? And the reason why you don't see this happening in the news, some person get on there and say, look, man, I'm tired. This is it. I'm done. You know, you done did me like this on my job. My supervisor kept on stressing me. You know, the government is doing ABC, doing nothing about it. The police run around my neighborhood, make my kids scared to go outside. The police is making my kids scared to go outside. I'm out. What you gonna do in Africa? Ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing there. And the majority of the top 10 fastest growing economies is in Africa. How could it be nothing there? Yeah? How could it be nothing there if they're going to create an African free trade zone that's going to be the largest free trade zone on the planet? How many of you have heard about the African Free Trade Agreement? If you haven't, it's because America is keeping it quiet from you. They divert you to the NBA championships and the new season of football and keeping that shit from you. No, my brother, the only way you're going to figure this out is if you come. It took me 10 years to come, and I knew right then I had to go. But if nobody was trying to support me or nobody was giving me any kind of information, they blocked all of that. I used to think like, there's no information. Why not? Because they block all that information to tell you where to go. You see? So luckily, I found some brochures in travel magazine back in the 80s talking about going on vacation to Kenya, and like that's like, damn, why they didn't say this on the news? That this is a great place to go visit, you know. So let me get into the chats here. Peace, my brother Space League and AJOP83. I was told you was an electrician. So you should give me some ideas of what you do. Give me some questions on that. I was thinking the same thing, but not R. Kelly though. Yeah, not R. Kelly. He shouldn't go. Yeah. But like Bill Cosby, it would have been devastating. You see, even when Dave Chappelle came, you see, they gave him $1 million contracts when he went back. Who else did that? Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor came to Africa. People don't even remember. You know, everybody's idol. Every comedian's idol went to Africa. You know, came back. That other guy, damn, I keep singing Freddie, but I can't think of that one that does the Michael Jackson imitation. He's old now. He got a skin on Africa. It's like I want to jump up on stage and beat his ass. You know what I mean? Oh shit, man! For a joke, that's not funny because black people are suffering in America and they don't know what to do, and they thinking like Africa is terrible, and then you helping them with a joke about Africa. You know. Give me an African booty bitch and all that kind of nonsense. This, you know, that thing plays on your subconscious. And I think it's a thing because every time you see a comedian, many comedians, they got a skit about Africa, and it's 99% of the time it's a negative joke. And you know, I'm talking about it because I just saw another comedian yesterday. I was looking at it, was laughing, it was funny, and damn, also he just switched over to Africa, and I'm like, what? And then he started talking negative about Africa. I'm like, damn, and then people was laughing, and I'm like, that's not even. You can't even go there. You know why? Because I see myself as an African. He's talking to an audience. He thinks it's a majority black American audience, and black Americans would laugh at that shit. But somebody that believed they were an African, they wouldn't see that shit as that funny, or even funny at all. And that's what we have to do. We have to change our mindset. Everybody, repeat after me. I am an African. I am not a fucking American. I am an African. This is what you got to keep telling yourself. And stop pretending like that. Now, if you're an African, are you going to go run around and with a name like John Smith, Nellie Anderson, Pookie, Pookie Lewis. Yes, you got to get rid of your slave name. You can't run around with a slave name if you an African. You know, so right there, that really cuts to the chase. You ain't gonna go to. How am I gonna go to work with a badge that said, Wambua instead of my real name? Benjamin Washington. Hmm? Let me tell you, you get more respect from whites and other minorities in the country when you change your name, as opposed to keeping the fucked up George Washington name. I changed my name in 1987, January the 1st. I had no qualms about it. You see, and I was working in corporate America. I got pulled over. I remember I got pulled over by the police for some traffic violation, with my new license and with my new name on it. And when the policeman saw my name, he just completely changed his whole attitude toward me. I saw him coming up to the car and see him through my side view mirror, and he was, pulling his gun, testing his gun, to make sure it's in the right holster, shit like that. I'm at 210, and he gonna ask me, why you got your hands on the steering wheel? And I'm like, shit, man, you know why? And he's like, well, that make me more nervous when I see your hands up there. I'm like, well, you just gonna be nervous, but you ain't gonna be threatening to shoot me because you can't see my hands. That's for damn sure. So that it's a great feeling that once you go to the name change, because it's psychologically your brain just gotta switch automatically. No more of that. And then you gotta meet the people that running in your life. Many of the people in your life are the ones that's keeping you hooked down into the American stint. They in that nonsense in the swamp, and they want you to remain in the swamp. But when you come up with a new name, with a proper name, they're like, what's that? You see? Oh no, get rid of that, come back and get into the swamp. You see, let's go drink, let's go get high, let's go laugh at the drug dealers on the street, no, change it. You got problems with your boss at your job? Change your name, put the new name tag on there, go in there. He's like, hey Pookie, come over here, I got some work for you. My name's not Pookie. What? Yeah, I've changed my name. What's your name? Shaka Zulu. He gonna go. She'd be shocked. So the mindset is the thing that has to change first. And you really need to take a look at the mindset very carefully. If you're watching CNN every day and you feel like you can't go a day without watching the news, you're being brainwashed. You're being brainwashed. And the culmination of all this brainwashing comes down to the point where you think you better than the African in this country. The African in this country got a standing army. The African in this country building malls, building shopping centers, got a stock market. We don't got none of that in America. I loved it. When I became an African, all that belonged to me. I don't care who said what. I was ready to take on even the African that might come and say, hey, you're not one of us. I'm like, you a damn lie. Prove that I'm not. You see what I'm saying? How you gonna look me in the goddamn skin and then tell me I'm not you not one of you? What, you think I'm with the white guy over there? Huh? Who got more in common between me and you and him? You see? So I'll eat with that. Happily, Africans are not like that. When I got there at the airport, they like, my brother, welcome home. You see? I remember when I started teaching martial arts, they know me from nowhere. And this guy, I'm teaching the unknown martial art, and these guys are like, but how can a black guy from some nowhere be teaching something that says comparable to Taekwondo and Shotokan? But guess what's happening today? Who got the biggest martial art in Kenya today? Huh? It's us. And I'm happy to tell you that black men in America is the one who brought that thing here. And you're going to see it spread all through Africa. Because when I get through, and when somebody asks me, or anybody asks my students, what's the difference between Mantis Kempo and Shotokan and Taekwondo? That's it. In Mantis Kempo, we believe that the martial arts started with the African, not the Chinese, not the Asians. We taught them. They didn't teach us. And you know what they're going to do? What they always do. You see, they get, but they can't deny it. You see? They can't deny it. When you start talking about the eyes opening in the Africans, that's what's happening. Hmm? So I'm there. Okay, and I'm gonna put this in there because uh, in fact, I'm gonna put some pictures on the Facebook. Yesterday we were at a family gathering. We went to a friend of mine's house here in Africa. In fact, the video I made a video of when we first got there, and that girl is not my wife. That's my house girl. So when you see they're meeting her. Some of you might say, "Hey, that's Mr. Rob's wife." No, that's my house girl. She's the one who take care of my kids. Now in America, you don't have that. But imagine if you had somebody dedicated to watching your kids 24 hours a day, being there. I can go and do whatever I want. I can go out and hang. You see what I'm saying? And I know my children are safe because they have an individual that is there to take care of them when I'm not there. And I tell her all the time, your number one job is not cooking food and washing clothes. And no, your number one job is making sure my kids is okay. So she's looking at me like, what? Oh, that's not a big deal. You see? But I'm from America. So you see, I got that in me, take care of my kids first, no matter what. But, that's one of the beautiful things. And just from that, so many things change. People say, oh, I couldn't have that's like slavery. No, she gets paid a small salary. She lives with us. She doesn't have a family. Like in most cases, most house girls, they don't have they come from broken homes. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're like teenagers. What do you do with them? Throw them in the street and sex traffic them? No, this is not America. And this is not Europe. No. You take them in, you take them like a family member. They do the chores in the house. You pay them. They go out on their days off and then come back and do that job. When they get old enough, they pick up a husband somewhere and they go. This is not our first house girl. This is like the fourth house girl. This is just a normal thing for somebody that has a family. In Africa, it cuts down on that kind of prostitution and that kind of a teenage pregnancy and all that because we don't allow her to go running around at night. But she's older now, so no, that's not my wife. But there's a video of me entering Francesca's place. Yesterday we had a birthday party for all of the people that were born in July, so it was a nice gathering. And you see some pictures of that. If you like to like the video and also subscribe. In fact, if many of you guys listen, please subscribe. Okay? I know I'm not going to be big like to Creek and Dinus and those guys because I'm not talking to a large audience and entertaining people. I want to give out the information that needs to be put out there. No doubt, I understand that. I don't plan on looking for a job. Yeah, now as an electrician, you want to and it's made a good point I'm gonna talk about. Yes, I'm in get rid of the government slave name. Yes, I can't wait to visit Kenya. Man, you should be here. Coming up out of coming in August, September, October, the weather is really wonderful weather all year round. But the best year months are in the winter months. When it's winter in the U.S., it's summer here. Come, I'll take you to the beach and you can look at 2,000 black people swimming in the ocean, and it's only black people. Beautiful, wonderful, just surrounded by our kind. You know what I mean? That's what I love. Okay, that's great. Your skills and knowledge is great. Continent, strong business part. I have great skills, no doubt. I was doing a video about myself, and shoot, I had to ramble because of all the great things I've done, simply because I'm disciplined and I'm fearless, and I've got some sort of college education and got corporate American experience in business, and so I'm like a uniquely qualified person. So that's why I'm saying I can get on here and I can give you the honest truth because I can see the bullshit when they're telling you on TV. Like now, if you go onto some of these shows and they start talking about black people on there and they talk about black issues in America, this is a waste of time. They're not gonna tell you that the black community is gone and that the black people is reducing in numbers. You see? So if they're not gonna tell you about the educational system is flawed and you take a kid to school is being miseducated and that college is now obsolete. They're not telling you that. They still telling you live the life in America. Black people can still do what you go look around, go out, look out your window and see how many black people you can count. Then look at some of my videos here where you just see It's just black people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I did a picture. I did a video. I watched a video of Kenya walking in Kenya. I think walking in Nairobi. 30-minute video. You can go on my Facebook, Black Man's Guide to Moving to Mountain Africa channel, and you can see that one walk. 30-minute walk in Nairobi. What do you see? You see nothing but people everywhere. And then I did a walk in the middle of Atlanta, city of Atlanta, video. 30-minute walk in Atlanta. And I watched that video and I was like, damn, what's going on? Is it Sunday? You know what I mean? What the hell? There's nobody walking on the streets. You see, that's the difference. Africa is busy growing. The majority of the population is young people. This is where the money is at. So, yeah, okay, house girls, not slaves. A stupid thing to say. Yes, house girls are not slaves, but, you know, there's a lot of things in Africa. Even me, I was like, that shit is. And when I had my first house girl, I was like afraid to give her jobs to do, and she'd be just sitting there, you know, with the kid, don't know what to do, and I'm like, I'm supposed to order her around and tell her what to do, and I'm like, God, that's not good, you know. And I felt the same thing you feel, but then I went to my friend's house and I saw them telling them go do this, and the girls were walking around. She was before you could even think of it, she bring you a glass of water before you can even think about it. You know, this is hospitality things that a servant is supposed to do. And a servant is somebody that's paid. Even in Britain, they have them. The rich have them. So what's the problem? In Africa, we all have them. I'm telling you, it's not like that. I don't mistreat them. I don't, you know, yell at them. You know, they come. Sometimes we have discussions, and then she tell me things about myself I didn't know. You know, like I'm like, you know, hey, somebody got my earphones because I put them right here on the bed, and now I went out there, I came back, and I don't see my headphones. Somebody that they don't have, you know, feet of their own must be walking around. So I'm like, you know, Zaira, where's my headphones? You know, I never seen them. Why? How can you not see them when you're in the house? You know, things like that. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, goddamn it, I forgot I moved my own headphones. You know, and I be checking myself because when I like, where's my slippers? We used to have things like, you know, my slippers always been moved. But it came to find out my kids is taking them and walking around in the house with them when I'm not there. So they're leaving them anywhere. So I'm thinking like, you know, you just gotta think like, you just gotta change your thinking because Africa is wonderful, and I live it every day. Now, if you like these kind of talks, and you need to get on this information tonight, I want somebody to do the right thing, take an action. Because the people that took actions before, I have helped them. People like Brian Cole, who has come here to this very room and met me, and saying that, you know, he wants to come to Kenya and stay, bring his family because he's tired of America, he's tired of the bullshit. You can just see it on his face, you know. So that's the thing. Now imagine if you came here and changed your name, or you picked up another. You have an African name already set up when you come here, you know. Now I was smart because I changed my name, then I got my passport with my name on it. You know what I mean? So when people was like, "Are you real?" You know, you're gonna be Kunta Kinte on your talk, but when you look at your passport, you know, you Bill Smith. No. When I changed my name on January the 1st, 1987, it was 100%. There was no going back. But that's the kind of person I am. You know what I mean? Not everybody is like me. I have come to realize in my life. But you can get there slowly. Okay? First of all, pick a name. And if you don't like that name, God damn it, pick another one. Pick one, test it, see what people think. You know? Go to your friends, your closest friends, and say, I'm leaning towards more Africa, and I was watching this video, and the guy said I should have an African name. So, what do you think about, you know? Let me not keep. I can't think of an African name. Sorry, fellas. Kunta Kinte. Just watch your friend's reaction. You see, and then look at your reaction, because he's not talking about leaving the United States. You the one that been touched, and you start seeing yourself separate from him, which is important because you can't talk about coming to Africa and you still with people that ain't thinking that they're African. All my friends, all my hood friends, all them people that, when I come working on the street, they was like, "What's up, Amin?" You know what I mean? They didn't even discuss like why you changed your name, nothing like that. They just got the message and just switched. You see? Same with my family. So now some of my relatives just won't call me anything. Hey man, what's up? How you doing? But they won't say the name. You see? Now that's just a person that got a mental problem. And then they got self-hatred. You see what I mean? And they don't love me. You see what I'm saying? Because the whole thing is me. What I want to be identified with. I can't call you something that your mom didn't want to call you. How? What's that? So when I have a baby, you can't call the baby name because my mom didn't name the baby? It doesn't make no sense. You see? And that's the last point I want to make is about, yes, your children. Some of you, you already have children and your woman has named your child with your last name. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about them? That's very simple. You see what I'm saying? Because when you take action, you got the moral and authority to go to your child and say, "Look, this is me, and this is what I did." You see? Now I changed my name before I had children, and all my children got African names. All 12 of them. Yes, I have 12 children. If I didn't mention it. Yeah. So all the boys' names start with the letter A, and all the girls' name end with the letter A. And they all Ra. You see. So when I was having children, I was there with my wife and the mother of my kids. And because I was black conscious, I knew that the woman's most vulnerable time is when she's pregnant. And that's the time you must love her and keep her away from any kind of emotional tragedies or anything like that. Feed her well and be there. So for the 9 months my woman was having my kid, I was like, yes, ma'am. Anything you need, baby. Oh, sure. No, don't worry. It's only air. I can do without it here. You take it. You see what I'm saying? And she seen that. And because I'm black, transcend into the unborn child. So when she was loving me because she was seeing me taking great care of her, that all went into the child. You see? So the child came out loving me. You see what I'm saying? Because the mom loved me. I was there. You know what I'm saying? It was not like I was not there. I'm there for every one of my kids' birth. You see? So this is the kind of things I'm saying. That's because I became black conscious because I started studying African instead of moving away from, homosexuality. Your kid can be a man in a woman's body, that kind of bullshit nonsense. You see what I'm saying? You young generation, you see this. And you think it's normal because this just happened today. But I will remember a time that you couldn't come around talking about you was a faggot. Faggot was a joke. You see now what happened between the time when it was a fucking joke with me and now it's like something that's a serious thing and a normal thing with you. What happened? What happened between that time and that time? I'll tell you what happened. Huh? White people's culture and white people's phantom ideas is being inflicted upon us. Hmm? We got to stop that. So, okay, guys, one more time. We don't have super chat in Africa. We only have African super chat. And if you like the information that's going on here and you want to be a part of it, do me a favor. $5. Go to Western Union. Just take an extra time because I'm gonna do other shows and you want to send some more money later. You just already have the app on your phone or whatever. You remember you must do mobile wallet. There'll be a place for M-Pesa. You're halfway there. Phone number. Make sure you get it correct. Not like Ruby Williams did. And this is the exact name on the contact list. We was having videos, we were doing wave, and then people were putting the wrong, misspelling the name, and then they canceled out the number from using their services. So we went to another one, and it was also the same issue. And now we're using Western Union, and I have realized I have to put the exact correct spelling of the name. Amen. Why isn't it? Why? Who is that? That's my wife. Why you don't have yours name? My phone number is different. I'm on telecom, but this is our family phone. It's been in the family for over 10 years. It just, at the time, it wasn't a big deal. She was the one who registered the phone. The phone numbers can only have one person registered. So she bought the line, and then brought it to me, and then it was like, okay. But then now, from that time to now, so much emphasis is on the phone number that it becomes a big deal. But I've had my own line, and then it was canceled out for some reason. I wasn't using it because this is my number. This is my business number. This is where you can always contact me. You call this number right now. It'll ring on my phone right now. But I don't want you to call on the number unless you're thinking of supporting us, huh? So you people that are coming later, you're not watching this on live stream, please do the necessary. Don't think like you should wait until when, whenever. But minus the Boyce Lydells, the Umar Johnson, Dr. Anderson, these people to Creek, to Reek, and all the rest of them, you see the information in my video is against the normal view. Yes, most of the time when it's the right information, it's always not. It's going to be overshadowed by a lot of propaganda, and most of the people in America have been propagandized. So it's no reason. It's no wonder the channel only got a few people to view it. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give it to you hot and heavy. And like I said before, we're already doing business with you guys that have been from my channel. Have already been doing business with me here, and we're gonna open up more business because it's action. You know what I mean? Are we gonna really wait for the government to do something for us, or are we gonna do something on our own? And say, "Oh, I got a small job. I don't really have no money. I'm in debt. Blah blah blah." Yeah, there's a reason why you're in debt. If debt is a trap, and once you understand and get the right mindset, you understand it's a trap. Then you know how to get out of that trap. You can still come to Africa. You can consolidate all your start now, consolidate your bills, and in 2 years from now, you could be here. You see what I'm saying? But if you got if you got vacation money coming, and you got well, you ain't gonna have no tax money coming that like before Trump tricked you out of that. You don't want to talk about it, but I know because I saw it coming. Somebody's gonna reduce taxes, and then what happened? You reduce taxes, yeah, but your rebate check was like half. So it goes on. You forget about that, and go to the next thing, and it'll be the next thing. But goddamn it, if they're gonna tell you by 2050, artificial intelligence is gonna make black people's income zero, what the hell are you waiting for? 2053? What you talking to your kid? Your kid gonna be alive in 2053. Surely. Look at him. Look what you're doing to him. You're just gonna come to a point where you don't have no power, no money, no relative that got a big business, and you're gonna take your son, go out on the street and look for a job, go put out them applications. You see? And if the income is gonna be lower, he's gonna come back with less opportunity than you did. He's gonna have a job. I got a job. Where you working at? I'm working at Burger King, Dad. They hired me to sweep the fucking parking lot every morning at 5 in the morning. Wow. How much you making? $15 an hour, but it's part-time. You see? You can suffer that in here. You can suffer that like that in Africa, and then move slowly up. And because the population here is rising so quickly, you're just going to be moved up like a wave. It's going to be much faster than what you get in America. So that's my point. I wanted to, get that in that Africans trump Black Americans anytime and every time. You are much better off here than you would be staying in America. Okay, now I know if all your cars and marbles are in America, then okay, that's one thing. But take your time, get your passport, travel here on your own. They got plane tickets going for $300 if you look for them. $300 round trip to Africa. You can't lose. So do some action. Go look at the plane ticket prices right now. And even though you don't have the money and you're not even set what date you're gonna fly, just do it and see the change in yourself. See the change. You see what I'm saying? Go down to the post office and ask for the fucking passport form to fill out. Just do that. Even though you don't have the money for the passport, even though you don't know, whatever, just do that. And then you start your journey. Because the least thing that can happen to you, if you get in an altercation, somebody police are beating up some guy and you intervene and you start arguing to blacks in America, you can put your head up and say, I got my passport application just ready to fill it out. You see what I'm saying? You know, I done already been on the internet checking out airline ticket prices. So if they get too bad, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, you can talk like that because you did action, and action is what it's all about. And when they fill you with propaganda, the first thing that thing does is make you freeze and be inactive, and you end up don't go until you get yourself so deep into America gets so many fangs into you, you see you can't even take a chance to go. We have mortgage, we have credit card debt in the world in the West, but it shouldn't stop. You can consolidate all your bills, and you don't even gotta tell them. You can just make arrangements with your bank, and then before their creditors know it, you could go to court, and there's something as the bankruptcy, but they also have consolidation court. You can consolidate all your bills into one payment that you can afford. You see, but you got to be careful how you do it, opposed to getting your passport and leaving the country, because America is now looking at those people that have debt, and they're going to try to stop those people that have any kind of financial debt. You can't get it. You can't leave the country. This is what they're going to do to you. They already got you on child support. You can't leave the country. On tax, you can't leave the country. And if you're too rich, you can leave the country, but you can't take your money with you. Can you imagine? You people that ain't got no money, imagine the rich people trying to get on a plane with a bag full of money. The meters go off, the money can be seen, they stop you. You try to do a transfer of your money from one bank to another bank, you can't get that money out in large sums of money. You see, this is what they're doing behind the scenes to us. And this is why people are streaming the cryptocurrency. But guess what? In peso and American currency, it doesn't go through the bank. It goes directly to your account. So when you come to Africa, I'm gonna teach you about M-Pesa and how you can make big money using M-Pesa. And you'd be surprised because there's nothing like that in America. 97% of the population in Kenya that got phones got M-Pesa, and they're active. So this is a video for another day. I think I'm going to be winding up now. This video went too long. Please check out the video of Amin Ra, Who Are You? And give your comments, ask your questions on that video. Please like and subscribe when you see this. Subscribe so we can get some new people in there. And for those people that can feel me, $5. What can it hurt you? For some truth and honesty. Because I'm telling you right now, if they're not talking about an Africa plan, then you trapped. So you're just gambling. You're just gambling. So let's break out of that. Okay, man. I mean, what do you think about? When I get ready to leave, you guys talk about the blockchain. This is what I'm trying to tell you. People, they don't go tell you this is cryptocurrency. This is money without the coin, without the money, without the paper. It can transfer to any person's phone. So you got a friend in America. You call him on the phone. You can say, "Hold on a minute." Then you dial some numbers, and then his phone rings, and it's got money in his little phone bank. Every phone got a bank inside the phone. You see? Now, when you walk out your door, you can't go half a mile without finding an agent that will change your phone money into real money. You can cash it out. You can't go half a mile. And in the city, you can't even go like 100, 200 yards without seeing an M-Pesa account agent. Now, every like a liquor store is like an agent. So he transfer money. You go to the liquor store, he give you cash. Is that in America here right now? I go to a restaurant, they got a number on the wall. I eat, they give me the bill. I type that number, I transfer the money to that number. Walk out the restaurant. Never pulled out my wallet, never touched my wallet. Huh? So, yeah, that's what we need to be doing. Africa trumps Black America every time. Because that thing I'm telling you about, this one, the African free trade, all that's African. That's what the African is doing. That's what he's doing. And while we're over there in America talking nonsense, you must understand the total devastation of not having a community, a black community. We lost. See? So that's it for me today. See you guys on the next video. Until then, peace.